Welcome back to Bent TV. At the World AIDS Conference in Melbourne, Bent TV spoke to experts from more than 30 nations about their country's experiences with HIV/AIDS.
Tell us a little bit about what country you're from and also about HIV in your country.
I'm from the United States, and we have an ongoing, pretty consistent prevalence. It's gone down a bit in the last couple of years. I'm actually from Washington, D.C., however, and we have infection rates and new infection rates much more like the developing world.
I come from Uganda. The state of HIV in Uganda, it's a little bit raising up, and so many it's found in the youths and the married couples. Yeah.
I'm come from Taiwan, the Republic of China, and in Taiwan we have about the government record is about 30,000 people get infected, but under the table I know it's more than that.
Okay, three of us came from Thailand. About HIV situation in Thailand, for now, quite decreased. But just some population is quite a little bit increased. But for the whole picture of Thailand, HIV infection is decreased.
I'm Sanele from South Africa. I'm here in Melbourne. I'm here to introduce my country, which has a very high number of HIV of people who are HIV. Hopingly, I'll get some information here in Melbourne, which will help my country to reduce the higher percentage of HIV. We come from India, and we are India. Our organization name is India HIV/AIDS Alliance. We work in all the states of India. Basically, we work with the high-risk group people, which is MSM, transgender, the Hijra community, injecting drug users, people living with HIV, and sex workers. And sir, can continue?
Yeah. So we work with the sex workers also in the southern states, where the HIV prevalence has come drastically reduced. It was 20% and now it is only 2%.
Okay, I'm from Nigeria. Precisely, I work in Lagos with Positive Action for Treatment Access. We promote treatment access for people living with HIV. And as you know, Nigeria bears one of the heaviest HIV burden in the world, second to South Africa. So the work of HIV is still very high, the burden is still very high. So PATA works to promote treatment access for all Nigerians who are living with HIV.
Okay, I'm from Zimbabwe, and HIV rate is at 13%.
I'm from Germany. I'm from the big HIV and AIDS organization in Germany. We are publicly funded and make HIV prevention for the mostly concerned groups like gay men, drug users, sex workers, people in prisons, and people from high prevalence countries. And we have very low infection rates in Germany compared to other countries around Germany.
I'm come from Malaysia, and the situation in Malaysia, we have reported cases 100,000, but we have around 60,000 on treatment, which is still not enough, and we need to extend our treatment coverage.
I'm from Peru, and we work with a Peruvian university. We invite artists, activists, and researchers to create a cultural activist intervention. For example, we paint T-shirts, visit hospitals, talk with a doctor, with nurses about the stigma and discrimination against people living with HIV.
So we are from Japan, and
our organization is called Japan Foundation for AIDS Prevention.
Okay, I'm from Tajikistan, and if you know, it's situated in Central Asia.
Where are you from?
Well, I was born in London and now I live in Melbourne.
And what's the status of HIV in England?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know. I guess I've been in Melbourne that long now. I know more about the situation in Melbourne. I guess it's got to be on a similar sort of par, though, with London and Melbourne, really, I would have thought.
Okay, in Kenya, okay, the rate of infection has gone down, that's for sure, but majorly in the urban centers, but there's still a lot of work to be done in the rural areas and in areas that are, not very well out there in terms of technology, education and all that. But the prevalence is going down, as much as it's one of the countries that have the greatest number of HIV AIDS, people living with HIV and AIDS.
About Albania, I want to say that we are a small country and stigma and discrimination is very big there. So usually people don't have a culture to go to the doctor and get visits. They know that they have HIV when they are in the worst phase. So what we're trying to do with the YWCA of Albania, it's involve people, like go to the doctor. Like there is no shame to go and visit and to have a control.
Yeah.
Egypt.
How is the state of HIV in your country?
Actually, our country is a low prevalence country, but it's not a matter of numbers. It's a matter of status of the people. It's a matter of encouraging people to go and test in order to face the real problem, if there is a problem there.
In Lebanon, the epidemic among the general population is not really high, but it's becoming to be concentrated among some key populations, basically MSM and sex workers and ID users.
We are from Indonesia, Bandung, the capital of West Java.
What's the status of HIV in your country?
The status of HIV in our country is still among the segmented group and concentrated population, mostly in IDU. But if we're talking about Papua, then it's going to be a different story because Papua has a very different culture. Then in Papua, the HIV epidemic is among the general population.
In my country, in Australia, HIV has been handled remarkably well over the years, but only because activists themselves have stood up and insisted on their human right to treatment.
Kia ora, I'm from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and HIV is impacting on our communities back home, with our Indigenous communities, our Pacific communities, our gay men community, and also our African migrant community.